Let's talk about different questioning techniques. There are different techniques to question somebody. Open-ended questions are the first one we'll speak about. Open-ended questions is an alternative questioning method which may seem less threatening than traditional interrogation type of questioning. So for example, what? Using the word what. What happened here today? How would you like to see this resolved? That's a great question for you in the boardroom when you come to an impasse. How would you like, to the other party, how would you like to see this resolved? Another type of questioning method is closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questions can be answered with a simple yes or no response. They are faster and easier to answer for that person, for the other party. They are faster and easier to code and analyze by you, the negotiator. And they provide consistency for you, the negotiator. Are you ready to make an agreement? May I ask you a question? Have you any other solutions for this problem? Did you? Do you? Is there? And can I, to frame your questions, usually require just a yes or no response. Are you ready to make a deal? Are you ready to sign the contract? No. Okay, then we must continue. Closed-ended questions should not always be thought of, however, as simple questions to answer. Sometimes closed-ended questions can be very, very complex for that individual. In my world, please. Sir, are you thinking about suicide, committing suicide? I'm not sure. I don't know. So you can see in that context, it's a very complex and complicated question, even though it just requires a yes or no response. But in this case, it's very complex. So don't assume that just by answering a closed-ended question, using these words, are, may, have, did, you, do, is, can be simple to answer just because it requires a yes or no response. Another active listening skill is effective pauses. Another word for effective pauses is silence. That's about it. The use of effective pauses or silence can help to elicit further expansion by the subject. The use of silence before or after saying something can focus the subject's attention and create more dialogue. So if Yolanda and I are having a conversation, and all of a sudden there's a pause in the conversation, one of us will feel uncomfortable and then feel the need to further the dialogue. You know that. We are uncomfortable with silence when we are talking to each other, so someone will continue the dialogue. So knowing that, as a negotiator, use that to your advantage. So in a negotiation, there's a pause in the dialogue, in the negotiation. Don't feel compelled, you as a negotiator, to jump on that and continue the dialogue. Rather, just remain silent. And then suddenly, that other person will feel compelled to say something, which will further the dialogue and move the conversation along to the next phase. Okay? So use that to your advantage.